So it's heirloom apple season, which makes me very happy. I found a few of these at the co-op last night. Wish I remembered the names. Anyway, I tried one of them. It was really good, and I think another one of these is going to be breakfast this morning. I don't often plan ahead for what I'm going to do on my days off. I know that annoys a lot of people, but works best for me. Today I had a big plan of what to do. Of course, winter is fast approaching. I'm not terribly happy about that. Trying to stay away from complaining, but I'm not terribly happy about winter fast approaching. The reason is I like being able to go without planning, and if it's going to be snowy and heavy rain, that kind of affects my ability to just take off and go. So that's what I am not looking forward to, being a little more stationary. Even when I want and have time to go, I don't like that feeling of having to be stationary. Fortunately, when I got up this morning, I didn't really feel like following my plan. So we'll see if I actually do. I have a tendency to head someplace, and if I'm not feeling it, sometimes I'll turn around and just go in the exact opposite direction. Don't know what I'm going to do today. Don't know what's going to happen. Because winter is fast approaching, I think I need to spend a little bit of time thinking about making a plan on staying warm. Now, I stayed fairly warm last winter. It wasn't really a problem, but it took a little effort, and I am trying to make things easier whenever I can. So part of that is making sure that my heater works and making sure that I have plenty of fuel. There was a couple of times last winter where the roads were snowy and I just couldn't get out to buy more fuel, and so it was a little bit of a nail biter as to whether I was going to have enough fuel to stay warm. So part of my plan this weekend was to get another propane tank, a bigger propane tank, so I didn't have to run and get fuel quite so often. So I know that they sell them out in Port Angeles, and that gives me a very good excuse to get out to the Olympics because I really, really like it out there. And as the weather gets worse, as winter is coming on, I don't really like going out there when the weather is really bad. So I'm going to take every opportunity to get out there now and enjoy it a little bit while I plan ahead for winter, making sure I stay warm. So it's a plus as far as I'm concerned. So I came up here to Port Angeles to pick up a new propane tank. The tanks I've been using are 1-gallon tanks, refillable, and they've been good. They're better than the little green bottles, but there were times where I didn't quite have enough propane, and so I found these 2-gallon tanks. They're 11-pound tanks, and I bought one in Canada last time I was in Canada, and it's been working out really well, so I decided to upgrade my second tank to a 2-gallon tank. So now I've got a 1-gallon I need to get rid of, and I'll have just two 2-gallon tanks, two 11-pound tanks, and I think that'll make getting through this winter a little bit easier, because they are saying it's going to be a bad winter. Hopefully they're wrong, but in either case that does mean less trips to get propane filled up. So that's good, since I use propane not only for heat but also for cooking. The visitor center is just outside of downtown Port Angeles, and this is an important stop if you're planning on hiking or backpacking, because if you are going to go in the backcountry, you need not only a permit but also a bear canister. So you can get both of those here, as well as information and maps on what to do and where to go and what to see. So my plan was to get out here to Port Angeles early, buy the propane tank, and then get back to Seattle and get some things done. A couple things on the van I wanted to get done. But to be honest, I don't have any real pressing need to get any of those things done. And all of a sudden I just thought, there's not a whole lot of time left before winter's here. So I might as well have fun traveling while I can, in case it gets snowy and awful out and I don't feel like driving in the snow and awful. I get it done now, do it now. And now that I'm up here and I've got the propane tank, that's half of the stuff on my list crossed off, so I think I'm gonna just keep it going. I think I'm gonna get something to eat quick here and get into bed early and keep driving tomorrow. Maybe the coast, maybe some more mountains, I don't know. All I know is I'm really enjoying this. So yesterday I was spending so much time just enjoying hanging out and being up here, I didn't think too much about food. So of course I snacked a bit on chips and apples and things like that and had plenty of coffee, but I just didn't eat a real meal. So it got to the end of the day yesterday and I went out and just got a burger because I needed something right then. So today I need to think a little bit more about food. So I've decided to stop and have some lunch. I've got a little bit of lunch going here, and I figured what better place to stop for lunch than one of my favorite areas up here in the Olympics. This is Crescent Lake. My goal this weekend was to get prepped up for the coming winter. There's not a whole lot of time left before winter is upon us. I don't want to freeze. I want to be as comfortable as I can be. But my goal every weekend is to just enjoy the time I have away from work. And luckily for me, I've been able to accomplish both this weekend. And accomplish a lot, I think. Well, this little drive I'm on has taken me halfway around the Olympic Peninsula, around the 101 freeway. I've seen lakes and rivers and streams, waterfalls, mountains, rainforests and forests. It's been absolutely enjoyable, every minute of it. But where I'm at now is even better, because now I'm at the Pacific Ocean, and this is Ruby Beach, one of my absolute favorite places in all of Washington State. This weekend has been thoroughly enjoyable, but unfortunately I'm going to have to cut this part a little bit shorter than I'd like. It's kind of hard to leave the ocean because I don't make it out here quite as much as I'd like to. But being that I am only halfway around the 101, that means I've got a lot of miles to cover before I get back to Seattle. Hard to leave, but absolutely worth the drive out. Thanks for watching, everybody.